Trump just shook the global pharma industry by announcing a 100% tariff on all branded and patented pharmaceutical products. But here is the big question. What does it really mean? Can the US survive without global medicines? And why India is spared at least for now? Let's break it down. The first question is, what does Trump announce? On Thursday night, Donald Trump declared that the US will impose a 100% tariff on any branded and patented pharmaceutical products. This is massive move considering US is the world's largest importer of medicines. Now, what are the patented and branded generics mean? A patented drug is an original medicine discovered and developed by a pharmaceutical company or pharma innovator, protected by law for about 20 years. So within that 20 years period of time, once the company, an innovator company gets the approval for their drug, gets the exclusive right to produce and sell that particular approved drug in the country, and no other company, no other medicine manufacturer are allowed to manufacture or sell the similar product. So that is patented drug. But now the question is, what is branded drug? Branded drug is any drug under a brand name. That can be a patented drug, but and that can be a generic drug also. But what is generic? I'm coming to it later. Uh, in this case, like as per Donald Trump's latest declaration, generic seems to be out of the target of US President Donald Trump for the time being. For the time being, very important. So, what is generic? Now come back to what is generic. Generic is basically the copycat medicine of the patented medicine. Means once the exclusivity of one particular medicine gets expired, that patent period of 20 years, what I said, got expired, then other companies can, or let's say other companies are allowed to copy their formula, their generic, their formula, and launch the same medicine under their brand. Now, let me clarify one thing related to branded generic. A branded generic can be at this point in time, what the Donald Trump targets the branded generic segment is those branded companies, branded products where the exclusivity has been lost, but the company, like who is the original innovator, exclusivity is lost, but the company is still continuing their product in that part in US. So those companies have been targeted as a branded generic player. And generic, I said, they are the copycat medicine manufacturer. India is the largest branded generic manufacturer. India is the largest generic manufacturer and supplier in the US. Now, why India is spared? This is a very important question, at least for now. For now, Trump is mainly targeting patented drug and branded medicines that have lost exclusivity. Here is he's not going after generic because a larger chunk of US medicines are basically generic, because patented drugs are always very costly, and generics give that relief where the price is 1/10 or maybe even less than that. So generic is a relief for common man, and the same prevails in the US as well, and that's why generic medicine has been spared for the time being, but we cannot eliminate the risk of targeting generics in future. And Indian companies like Dr. Reddy's lab and Cipla, Lupin, all the companies, Sun Pharma, or whatever, like companies who are doing business in the US are mostly generic companies. But that is also true that some of the key players have their manufacturing facility, little bit of manufacturing facilities are there in US. Now, if Donald Trump impose tariff on generics, in that case he did mention one thing, that companies uh, has to means that the companies must have their manufacturing plant, or at least they must start commissioning one plant, or start at least groundbreaking, something like that, in the US. So some activity in the US should have been done. Many of the generic players in India has some sort of exposure in the US in terms of their manufacturing process, either by themselves or by taking over some companies in the US. They have some manufacturing facilities in the US. But now the question is, how, if tariff is imposed on generics, then how that tariff will be imposed? Means companies, the, that much of medicine will be excluded. It can be that much of medicine will be excluded which is manufactured within the US, and what is coming from India or other destinations are not supposed to, maybe supposed to get tariff on the that particular drug. So I don't know, no one knows. So that is very important. Although currently we are India is somewhat safe, but the risk cannot be eliminated in the near future. Now, question is, can US survive without global medicines? Short answer is no. The US relies heavily on global supply chains, especially from India and China, for essential medicines. Blocking imports of branded and patented drugs could disrupt healthcare, raise prices, and even create shortages in the country. This move raises big question. Will the US double down on generics? Could India become even important in global pharma, or will this spark a full-blown trade war in healthcare? What do you think? Drop your views in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into global economies and market.